everybody, I'm Tina and I'm back today with a new tutorial and a very special tutorial because I hadn't made one of those for ages, which is a complete project, these mosaic purses, which I absolutely love. I've been making these for years, and actually I wanted to just show you quickly, this was one of the patterns from my book that I released in 2016. And you can make these with all kinds of different patterns. You can use all the patterns from my Havana afghan, for example. Just the basic. Here I made it with this one as well. So you can make it with all kinds of different patterns, and it's really great fun to work with. And so I've been making these for like the last 5 or 6 years or so. This one is my old one. I've been using this one for years and years. So what I love about these is that it's a really quick make. So it's perfect for gifts. It's my go-to present thing, and everybody loves them. And I'm a bit sad now because I've given one to pretty much everybody I know and love. So I'll just have to keep those new ones for myself. I can live with that. But what I really, really love about them is that it's such a life hack. Okay, so the trick is that you start on the zipper. So the first foundation round is sewed straight onto the zipper with the embroidery chain stitch. And just when I figured this out, it was such a life change because, I've been making purses, and then in the end I always had to put in the zipper and what have you, and it just kind of just went into some shelves or just got lost at the back of the closet. I never finished them. But now you start with the zipper. So you start with the finishing, like you start with the nasty bit. So you start with that one, and then from there on, you just go on as long as you want. You make them any size you want, really. So the width of the purse is just decided by the zipper that you get. And then the length is just how long you want to go on. And these are all continuous patterns. So you can just make them any size you want. And even you can also make these as pillowcases, like removable pillowcases. It's really cool. You see? So then you can take them off and wash them or what have you. And it just gives such a nice, neat finish. I love it. And it's so, it's got this handmade touch to it, which is just, I really, really like this pattern. So before I tell you about the pattern itself, I just want to say the zippers, I get mine usually at thrift shops. I love going thrifting. So at the thrift shop, because these can be a bit expensive at the craft shops. So at the thrift shops, I'll get these for like 50 cents or $1 or something. And these are the nice ones, the old ones, the nice ones they always have like metallic and all kinds of different types of novelty. What do you call this? Handling thingy? So I recommend going thrifting for these if you're into that kind of stuff. And then there is the pattern itself is available on Ravelry. It's one of my first patterns published in English, actually. It's been down there for ages. And the pattern comes with two patterns included, which is the zigzag and the original Apache Tears. But then you can substitute these with all kinds of other mosaic patterns, like the ones you make up, anyone from my Havana afghan or Indiana afghan or what have you. So it's lots of fun to play with. What was I going to say more? Yeah, I have a little surprise at the end of the tutorial. So at the very end, I'm going to put a little discount code for you guys. So my mosaic purses pattern will be available on Ravelry at 50% discount till the end of this month, till the end of May, if you want to jump on that. But really, like I said, what I'm excited about is that it's a complete tutorial. So, it's not a support thing, it's not teaching anything, it's just like a complete, I show you from start to finish. Well, not how to make this one actually, how to make this one. And then from there on, you can go and make all kinds of fun little purses. So let's get to it. I'm so psyched to show you, and the magic zipper input technique. Yeah, let's do this. Woo! Okay, so I am super psyched to show you how to make my little mosaic purses. And the best part about it, and maybe the most scary part, is how I sew my first foundation round. I start by the zipper, you see. I have here one which I'm working on at the moment. And you see, we start at the zipper and then we work our way down. So really, you know, that's what I love most about this pattern, because, you know, I would be making purses and, you know, make them, and then in the end I have to put in the zipper, and then it's just not happening. They just, you know, get lost in some shelf somewhere. So when I figured this out, how to work straight into the zipper, so it's kind of like finishing with, starting with the finishing, you know, or at least getting the not so fun part, the finishing bit, just right out of the way in the beginning. And it's just, I think it's brilliant. And then you just work your way down, and in the end you just close it up. And it's so you're starting with the finishing. And so the tricky bit about this is, and I mean, at the first time that I did this, they didn't come out this neat. So, you know, be prepared to maybe, you know, practice makes perfect, obviously. So the tricky bit is to get sort of the right gauge here, the right tension in your foundation round sewed stitches. So I'm going to show you how I do that and just walk you through it. And so the pattern comes with two possibilities. One is like a zigzag pattern, which is actually like the pattern that I show you in my Mosaic guide, my beginner's guide to Mosaic crochet number 2 in the round. And so you can use that pattern if you don't have the Mosaic Purse pattern. So you can make any pattern you like, but the actual pattern comes with the zigzag version, and then just the basic Apache Tears version, which is great as well. So I'm going to show you in this tutorial the basic Apache pattern version. And what you need before you get started is a zipper. I'm very bad with this Z. We don't use this in Icelandic, so, you know, I would probably just be saying zipper. You need a zipper. And I actually love, they can be a bit pricey, you know, in craft shops. So what I do is that I thrift them. So whenever I go to a thrift shop, I will pick up, and I may have a little bit of a problem of this. Like I have loads and loads of zippers around the house. And so I will pick this up, and, you know, they cost very little usually in thrift shops. I get mine for like maybe 50 cents or $1 or something like that, each, which is a great. And the good part is that the old ones all have this metallic, really. I like this. And when you buy them new now, the metallic ones are more expensive than the plastic ones. Yeah. But the old ones almost all have metallic. And what I like also is they have all kinds of different, you know, vintage looking, this bit here, which I do not know what's called, you see? So this is how I do it. And this one, yeah, you look at this one, it's so cute. And this one even has the tag on it still, but it's still thrifted. So you will need the zipper. This is a 15 centimeter zipper, but I would recommend maybe starting with a 10 centimeter one if you have it. 10 centimeters is what, like 4 inches? It's better to start a bit small, just, you know, when you're practicing. Then you will need 2 sets of hooks, or 2 sizes of hooks, 2.5 millimeter and a 3 millimeter. If you only have one of those, it's okay. You can get by with just one. I just use the smaller one to do the second round, which is into the sewed stitches. It's just nicer to have a smaller one, but it's okay if you just have 3 or just 2.5, but preferably both. And then you need scissors, obviously, and a pointy ouch needle. And then you need some yarn. I love using my favorite cotton yarn, just all times, is Katona from Shepherd's. And this is not product placement or anything. It's just my favorite yarn. I've been using it for years. And what I really love about it is that it has such a good twist. So it hardly never, you see, it's really, really twisted and nice. So it hardly never splits, which is just great. So for one, like a small purse like this, you can get, if you just use the big skeins of Katona, then with 2 skeins, you will get, you know, 2 medium size or small purses if you switch the colors, main color A and B. So, you know, it takes really little. And for this one, for example, I used all kinds of scraps, and you can use up the tiniest little balls of scrap, like, you know, and I would even sometimes change mid-row and just use, like, for the yellow, I ran out of yellow, and then I just used another yellow. And you can't really tell in this when you're doing it multicolored like this. I'm going to talk a bit later on how to do it like very crazy colored like this. Here I've decided to, yes, use some, you know, a lot of colors, but I'm going to do on both sides a little bit of fade. I love these. These are the mini skeins of katana. They're just so cute. I mean, come on. And what's fun about it too is that you can use more colors. And I love doing this sort of smooth fade. So for one color here, I'm going to use these three here, from light turquoise to sort of sea green, and then darker one. And then I have a few pinks here that I'm going to use for the other color. But you can use just two colors if you like, or you can use, you know, all the colors you like. So, you know, lots of room for fun color play and creativity. Okay, so that's the introduction. Now we should just get started, and we're going to start by sewing that foundation, first foundation round in straight onto the zipper. Onto that first foundation round number 1, which is the sewing part. Now, I just do this by eye. If you are by any chance, you know, more organized inclined than I am, you can use a ruler and pen and sort of mark a line or stitches into the zipper. So most zippers will have some sort of, let's go in here, will have some sort of marking on it, you see? So on my purses, I like to leave at least one line here. So it's sort of like, you see, here's 1 line, 2, 3, 4. You see the little marking here? So I will just try and go here into the second line. So all zippers have some kind of, you see? They all have some kind of, like here, I would probably use this one line here and leave a bit more of the zipper. And I usually have very colorful, nice zippers. So I like to show a bit of the color. You could go straight, like really close to, but I think it's better to go a bit further away. So the important part here now is to get the gauge correct. And this is really just practice. Like, I'm going to show you how I do it. My first ones did not turn out perfectly. I'm not saying that your first ones won't, but, you know, be prepared that, you know, I think it was my second or third that just turned out like beautifully and perfect and all very straight and nice. Because what happens if you do too few stitches here, then it will sort of like, what's the word in English? Like bulge, like it will do, the zipper will go like this, you know? So you just have to find this perfect balance with your gauge, really. What I do is I just try to do them insanely tight. It has not happened to me yet that I've made too many stitches. I think the problem is usually that you make too few and you make your foundation round stitches. I think this is called sewing stitch. Oh, I can't remember what's called in English. It's lykkespor in Icelandic. So when you do that, you just want it to be very tight and sort of as small as you want, and you want the line to be straight. You see, that's what we're aiming for. So nice and tight little stitches, and keep the line pretty straight. So if you want, you can make some marking onto your zipper. I don't do that, so you know. Okay, so like I said, we need 2 colors, A and B. I'm going to use the blues for A and the pinks for B here. And you decide on the foundation round, the first foundation round, which is the sewed one. Oh, and I looked that up. It's called a embroidery chain stitch, what we're gonna use in English. So if you use the same color for all the 3 foundation rounds, this one is a bit dirty. I've used it a lot for many years. So here I used the same color for all the first 3, the sewed one and the first 2 crocheted ones, you see? And then it's really neat, and you really can't it kind of happens out of nowhere, which is lovely. But I kind of like using a different color for the first foundation round, the sewed one here. So because it's really just decorative, isn't it? Well, I like it anyways. So I'm going to use a different color, this pink here, which is B, for the first round. Now, when we start, I know it is very tempting to just do a very use a very long thread when we're starting to sew. But actually, my great-grandmother, Lola, she taught me how to do embroidery. She was the one who taught me how to crochet when I was like 8 or 9 or something. But before that, she had taught me embroidery. And the first thing she taught me was that you should never have too long of a thread. And she called this, it's probably not PC to say it or anything, in Icelandic it's leti konu þráður, which basically just translates to a lazy woman's thread. So the point is that you think you're saving time by having a really long thread because you don't have to weave in your ends, etc., etc. But in the end, it's just not very good. It's not good practice because then your thread also gets worn out, and it's just not gonna. In a smaller one, sometimes like in this one, I did power through and kind of cheated, you know, and just used one for the whole round, but it was getting a bit difficult to have it neat by the end of it. But this one is larger actually, so I just know that I won't make it the whole round, so I will just do as my granny taught me, and you know, not use too long a thread. I think I have here maybe a thread that is like 30 centimeters, something like that. Now you want to have a embroidery needle with a filed edge like this, pointy. And you want to have one that has relatively a small head, yeah? So to get the thread through, it's nice to have one of these here because it's quite, the katona is quite thick and it's difficult to thread. If you have a cheap one like I do here, do take care to hold it here when pulling it through. There we go. Okay, so you thread your needle and then we get started. So just start anywhere on either side. It doesn't really matter where you start. And so the first thing is you go behind the back and you're going to find your line. Remember I said I'm going to go into this line here, and you're going to find your line and put your needle through there. There we go. And pull it all the way up. And just leave a bit of a tail like that. Okay, and the embroidery chain stitch goes like this. You then insert your needle right next to where it came up. And then you're going to go it's just maybe 2 millimeters really. Like I'm really just trying to keep it as neat as possible. Like in theory, if the gauge here is 24 stitches per 10 centimeters or 4 inches, then you should get 2.5 stitches per 1 centimeter, yeah? But, you know, I'm not calculating this the whole time when I'm doing it or anything. I just know how to do it by now. But like I said, you could calculate this and do little dots for you to be guided by. Okay, so you put it down where the thread comes up, and then you take it back up just tad further, and then you're going to take your working thread and you're going to put it like this under the needle, and then you pull through. And now we have our first stitch, like so. And now we're just going to do this again and again and again. And actually, this first round does take a bit of time. What I would sometimes do, because I love making these as gifts, I actually haven't made them in years now, so that's why I started practicing yesterday before doing the tutorial. What I used to do before, because I love making these for gifts, and so what I would do is I would sew a few zippers. So I would have like zippers ready with this first foundation round on it and have them ready, because once you've done this first sewed round, then it's really quick actually. But this first round is takes a bit of a time, and you know, it does pay off to really take your time with it and do it properly, because then it's not much fun when it then gets all rippled and stuff. So you want to have it, and you want to have it tight and nice like this, but you also don't want to pull too much at your thread. Just try to have them, I would say, natural. Again, practice makes perfect. So, but you see how I'm making these. And so you just always go back in where you're into the loop here, and then back straight just next to where your working yarn is coming up. And then you go just a tad, like I would say like 3 millimeters forward. Actually, when I'm doing that math now in my mind, then that's a bit more than 2.5 stitches per centimeter. So I'm thinking I'm probably doing maybe 3 stitches per centimeter. What is happening here? Oh my God, dear Lord. Why? This always happens when you're showing, right? It's classic. Here we go. Yep. You see? Straight line and tiny stitches. Should we take a ruler and see how much it is? So I just stop guessing what I'm doing here. Yeah, so this is like 3 stitches per 1 centimeter. 1 inch is 2.5 centimeters. So then you would have 7 to 8 stitches per 1 inch if you're at the other side of the Atlantic. Okay, and you just keep going like this. Just take care to do it like this, nice and neat and as small basically as you can with this weight of yarn, and keeping it using the lines, the little line on the zipper to guide you so that it will be straight. So I'm going to keep going here and show you then what we do when we go over the end here, which is a bit more tricky. Okay, so I seem to have gone a bit astray here. So here you see more green before, and here less green. But I mean, it's supposed to show that it's handmade. We don't want it to be completely perfect, right? But you know, when you see that you're kind of weighing off a bit, I mean, you can just then try to take care and go a bit away from, just to try and keep your straight line. So again, when your working yarn is coming out of the last stitch, you're gonna go into the last loop that you made just by where the yarn is coming up, and we go a bit ahead, just these 2-3 centimeters here. Put your working yarn behind or below the needle and pull through. And it really does make a lot of difference to have not so long of a thread. It's way nicer to work like that. So in the end, my granny was completely right. Grannies always know best, yeah? Okay, so when we're coming here up to the end bit here, I'm just going to continue here and then I'll start swooning in, because we're going to go here and we're going to go over here. So we want to start by here. I'm going to try and go a bit closer to make like a nice swirl there, nice like a smooth turn. But let's go a bit more straight. Okay, and always just take care and look at your, if it's keeping kind of straight, because you will see it right away. If it's not, if it's starting to be crumpled and rippled, then you will see it right away. Okay, on we go down here, just by where the yarn is coming up, and nudge ahead. And yarn under your needle, and pull through. Hoppa. Like so. And now I'm going to start turning just a tiny bit. So instead of coming up like here, I will just start going a bit closer to the zipper here. And when you go over your end bit here, we want to have one stitch that just goes over this part here. So here I will make one more stitch going in here and then one stitch over. So this one has to swirl even more. And it's really easy to control. You can make a straight line or you can make a curved line with this embroidery chain stitch. So it's easy enough. You see, I just go right up until because at the end of here you have like a ridge. And so you can't work into the ridge. So you'll just have to come up just by the ridge, like so. Okay, yarn under. And yeah, and this bit is a bit like thicker, the fabric, so sometimes it's a bit more difficult to manage. Okay, so you see now here I'm going to crush this breech here. And so there's one stitch that's gonna go just right over here. So we're gonna, and sometimes you have to do like, it will be a bit like twisted, the yarn, so it's good to take that twist off. Twist and shout. Okay, so now I'm going to this last stitch here. And this is really what you want to take care and do it really nice. So you go in here and then you're gonna go under, you see? And just come up right at the other side of the ridge, as close to the ridge as you can. You see? So there's one stitch going over the gap. Okay. Yeah, and this stitch is just the way as the other ones. Just a bit more uncomfortable because it's like you don't have this continuous in the fabric there, and it's a bit difficult to get through too because the ridges are. This is very photogenic, isn't it? Me struggling to get the needle through. And this is why you want the head to be as small as possible for your yarn, head of the needle. The eye of the needle, you call this. So now I'm going to pull through on the other side. I'm on to the other side. And if I just go like this, you see this stitch is a bit bigger. Just because, you know, we have to make it a bit bigger here because of the big gap. And so I will kind of cheat here a bit and pull it more together, like so. You see how I'm pulling at it here into this direction, like back, and make it smaller. And just have it obey me. As small as you can without it being like too, you see? So now it's looking quite nice. And then we continue on the other side. And now we're going to make a smooth curve here as well. And again, we go in just from where we came up, like so. And go a bit out. You see, we're going into this direction here. So I'm going here. Okay, needle through, yarn under, and up. Oh, sorry. Okay. And actually, at this point, my yarn is getting a bit worn because of all the sewing with it. But it's okay, I can make it look good. You see? Oh, isn't this lovely? I mean, this is just picture perfect. I know that these rounds, like on the double border as well, they are kind of nasty, but I kind of like them. I don't know why. I think it's just, I just look at it as a challenge, you know? And it's really, if you make those important, bit tricky, even a bit, you know, nasty rounds, if you just make them picture perfect, then it makes all the difference, you guys. It's like a make or break moment. So I look at it as a challenge. And now we're going to go just straight again, and I'm going to take care to leave a bit of green here because I love this green in the zipper, and I was just really eating it all up here. So now we're just going to go straight. We've done the swirly whirly bit, and we continue straight. Oh yeah, and you want to have it, you know, as close up to the end of the zipper as you can, because otherwise there will be a bit of a hole here, yeah? We don't want any holes in our little purse. We want it to be nice. And yeah, like I said, I just kind of find the joy in neat finishing, because this is, like I said, we are starting with the finishing touches here, really. Okay. I'm gonna do a couple more stitches, but you can see when your thread is starting to, like, even like I said with this, with the Katona, it has such a good twist, so it's really good to use. But even this one, after, you know, been worked through the zipper so many times with the embroidery stitch, then it's starting to get a bit looser. So I'm gonna make a few more stitches, and then I'm gonna substitute and put a new yarn, because you want this round to be all shiny and nice. Nice yarn. Okay, am I eating up the green again? Just a bit. Okay, I'm gonna try and go a bit further away from the zipper so we can see my nice green. There we go. Again, if you are like a Virgo or OCD or something, like with some kind of a nice personal trait like that, then you may want to just, you know, make a straight line and not do this by eye. And that's okay as well. You can do it any way you want, you know, but in the end, I think it's nice when it looks like this. It's, I mean, you can tell that it's handmade, but it's good work, you know. It's properly and neat and nicely done. So, but it's organic as well, you know. It's a bit swirly here, but I don't know. I find that's nice. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going just a little bit with this thread, and then I'm gonna show you how you put in a new thread. Okay, so I've powered through a bit, and so just at this point, maybe check and see if you can have your zipper lay pretty much flat. You see, I mean, it's waving a tad here, but it lays flat, which is kind of the test it has to endure to see that you're making it correctly. Yeah. So now I have finished this thread here, and so when you change and you put a new thread, then you're just going to close off this last loop here by, you see, the working thread is coming up here out of our loop like normally, and we're just gonna put it back down here through, and to fasten this last loop here on the other side of the loop, you see? So here's the loop, and here on the other side, just straight down, like so. Whoopa. And you get this little stitch here. And so this is the reason why one would kind of strive to not have to change threads, is that you will see this tiny little loop here that is fastening our last loop. But I mean, again, this is handmade and we're not hiding that. We're just doing a good job of handmade stuff. So now we take the needle out, and I'm gonna thread the new needle, the new yarn into my needle. And I suppose that I should say something while I'm doing that, because this is not good TV. Okay. There we go. So when we start again with another bit of yarn, then you see here was our last loop, and I'm just going to take care to take the end from the last one and just hold it to one side so you won't get caught up in it. And we're just going to take our needle and we're going to come up. We want to come up right here where our last bit of yarn came up as well. So we're kind of going to try and cover up that little stitch we made there. No, I want to get this just right, because not splitting the yarn, but inside the loop here. No. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we come up with our new yarn here inside the last loop we made in the chain stitch embroidery. And we're going to pull through, and again just leave a bit of yarn for the darning later. So now I have my two ends here, and then we just continue exactly the same way. Back down here and keep nudging on. And this is a bit of a long thread, actually. My granny would not approve. Like I said, this round does take a bit of a time to do, so it can be very neat. It's not very fun to make a lot of these first rounds into zippers at once, but I do sometimes just take one night and do 2 or 3 of these, and then I have them ready. And that's really, it makes it worth it, really, to have 2 or 3 zippers ready with the first foundation round sewed into them, and then you can make a really quick present. I can even make then one purse that's maybe just 10 centimeters long in one night. So that makes for a really good quick present make. Okay, although I know that this is thrilling TV, real-time sewing, I think I will continue a bit on my own here and then catch up with you guys when we're gonna go and do the other big jump over the gap on this side. Okay? Okay, so I'm almost up to the other end now, and it's actually, well, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Yesterday turned out better. Isn't that typical? Like I was trying to do one yesterday to practice, and that one was like really straight. But this is I'm good with this. So once you get up to this end, and you see this end is actually often more open, so you want to try to close this up here. So the trick is really, it's good to open the zipper like so. And then just you have to take care that they're lining up when you go straight over, when you go that last stitch. But now I'm just going to go and try and do like a whoop, like a swirl here. And you don't want to be right onto here. You will have to leave, you know, half a centimeter here, just a tiny bit, just so to give it some air on that end. Okay, on we go. If I can pick up my needle. And we're going to continue straight for a little bit. And nudging along. And when you're tightening your stitches like this, you don't want to do it too tight either, because that can also make the zipper ripple. Okay, a few more stitches before we get to the big gap. And to get it, when it seems like it's a bit too big, then you pull back like this. Yeah. Starting to turn just a wee bit. This is thrilling, isn't it? I keep making the most exciting TV stuff. I'm so glad you're watching. So grateful. Okay, and now I have one more stitch here up to the ridge, I think. So now we're gonna turn even more. So, and as close to the ridge as you can get, but you can't really go into the ridge itself, because this is always, usually it's plastic, so it's a bit thick there. So you just go as close to this little ridge here as you can. Yarn under, and pull. Oops. Okay. And if okay, now I'm going to close up the zipper just to make sure that I'm lining it up good. Here, when I do the jump. And so we go down into the same bit just before the ridge and come up on the other side. I'm going to use my yarn to see where I'm going. Should be here. Just like so. Okay, yarn under. Whoopala. This is how do you say, fiddly. I'll give you that. It's fiddly. It's all worth it though. And here it gets tough to get them through because it's so thick. Okay, and now we're going to do our little gap trick again. Okay, so you see it's, because it is quite big. But I want to keep the zipper closed now just to see how much I can manipulate it. Okay, so I'm going to pull a bit back here so that the loop gets smaller, trying to cheat it a bit. And as you can see, like the loop is not reaching its final part here, but I'm going to see if we can try and have it neat. And just pull it a bit together. A bit more like this. Okay, I think we can get away with this. So it's close to the zipper here. Okay, and now we do the one after the, and then we're going to go into our last loop straight down here, and we're turning again now. Okay, yarn under. I have to get the needle more up. Yarn under and pull. Quite nice. I mean, this one is a tad bigger than the other ones, but it's, you know, there's no way around it. This is, there's a big gap here, so you don't want to pull it too tight together because then it will just not be nice. You just do as well. Some aren't so, you know, like this one here is not made of plastic. This is like cotton, so that one will be easier to manipulate. But even when I hold them close together like this, there's always a small gap here, so that's okay. Okay. On we go. Oh, we're almost finished. It's only taking me like 2 hours. Okay, we continue with our swirl. I think I'm going to open up. No, I'm not going to open up because I want to see where this is here so I can have it go with the end bit there. And now I'm going to go straight. And you know, feel free to fast forward. But I usually, the funny bit is that you guys, because you're always so nice and you're always commenting and let me tell, you know, hear what you think and what have you. And the funny bit is that I never get like criticism for doing something too slow or too showing it too meticulously, like showing it all. You rather, if anything, then people will comment and say I'm doing things too quickly or not showing everything. So, you know, I show everything and then you have the magic button of fast forward. So if you think you've got it, then you just fast forward. Okay. Let's see how this is lining up now. I'm close to, so yeah, you see I have to go a bit closer to the zipper now. I'm gonna nudge it a bit in the direction of the zipper. And just when you have to change direction a bit, just do it in 2 steps, you know, do it slowly and then it won't be very noticeable. Okay, let's see how it's lining up. Yeah, a bit more towards the zipper so that we have the same space for this line here. Just tad to the left there. Okay, yes. Now we have a straight line here, I think. Pull it a bit back here. I think this one was a bit big. As you can see, I'm really taking care to do this, like, I don't know how to say this in English, fantasi. It's like taking care to do things properly. But that's like a very long way of saying it instead of just one word. I must ask my friends how to say this in English. But like, you know, but it really pays off to do this foundation round really nicely and take good care to be doing it as best you can, because it will show. It will be worth it, I promise. Okay, I'm whirling with excitement because I'm almost there. Because then the other, like the rest of it is really just fun. And I love the next round where you're working into these stitches. So satisfying. What's happening here? Yeah, this is the... Okay. I mean, I will just wing this. I think I have like 2 or 3 stitches left here. Again, you may want to measure it and kind of space them out or whatever. I just do things by eye. Can't get, I just have to do the last one here, be a tad bigger. So the last one, can I get one more here? I'll try. Do one tiny one. It's better to do 2 small ones really than one bigger. Yeah, definitely. Good call, Tina. And yes, even when I'm not filming, I do talk to myself when working. Okay, wonderful. And we're almost here. I mean, in a perfect world, there will be a bit more space here in between those 2, but this is just fine. And so now when we do the last stitch of this round, what you want to do is use the butt of the needle, the ant bit here, the other one, because you don't want to split the yarn here. And we're going to fake the last one. So we're going to go under these 2 here, like so. Under the first stitch we made, both back and front loop, like this, and then into this one here. You see where the yarn came up, and so this way we are making it look exactly like the other stitches, although it's a bit tiny, but that's fine. Et voila! Isn't it lovely? Oh, yes, it is. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Okay, I'm very happy that this, although I do like doing this round, I'm also happy that it's finished. I just feel very accomplished. So it's rippling just a tiny bit, isn't it? Which is just, but I mean, I did that obviously on purpose, so that you guys wouldn't feel bad that yours was rippling a bit. I mean, this is the key. Just never admit defeat. Like, never point out your mistakes, isn't it? You know, you just have to be happy with what you've done. This is quite nice, I think. I mean, it lays flat. It's just doing the tiniest bit of ripple here. But, you know, again, handmade and proud of it. Whoop. Yay. And you see, nice and tight here on both ends. Snuggled up to the zipper. And yeah, okay, so to the last bit before we go on to the other one. So so that we don't have to weave in these ends later on, what I do is I crochet over them in the next round. And before taking them through, I just do 2 knots here. So don't take your needle out right away. Just tie a double knot on the wrong side, like so. And then we're going to bring the yarn up to the right side of our piece, and we're going to have them here on the outer side of our stitches. You see, just, you know, close to here where it is, and to the outer side, not on the side of the zipper, but to the outer side. Bring the yarn up there, like so, and cut the yarn, just leave, you know, 10 centimeters or so. And now we have to do this with our other 4 ends as well. Just thread the needle again and pull your thread up to the right sides. Oh, we don't want to split, just by where our stitches are and on the outer sides of our stitches, not towards the it is a bit crumbly. God darn it. Oh well, you know, that's the way it is. Can I just show you this one again? It's really perfect. This is the one I did last night to practice for today. Oh my God. Well, yeah, you know, there's that. Apparently practice does not make perfect. Just the practice is perfect, and then it makes... Was I stressed now? I don't know. No, I'm not usually stressed when I'm filming for you guys. You're so friendly. Okay, so at the other bit where we changed put our new yarn in, we also do a double knot there, just to secure it. Thread the needle and bring the yarn up to the other sides, because we're going to crochet over these, then we don't have to weave in anything, which is always just great, isn't it? Okay, and the last one. Bring it up to the other side. Like so. So when you finish this first foundation round, which is the sewing part, then it should look like this. You should have your ends here up on the right side, and then you just kind of smooth it. And when I stretch it, it's perfect. Pretty darn good. I'm gonna be happy with it. Okay, that's the first foundation round done. On to foundation round 2. Now we won't need our needle anymore. We need a threader. And now we take our yarn A, if you haven't been doing this foundation round with yarn A. So yarn A for me here is blue. And now we use hook number 2.5, because just so it's easier to get into the little stitches here. And we're going to start here at the end. You see the gapping the bridge, the bridging the gap stitch here. We're going to start in that, and we're going to work into the back loop of our foundation round. You can work into both loop actually, but I like always, I'm obsessed with leaving one loop, so it just makes for a nice, you see, nice little extra detail there. Okay, so we're going to insert our hook into the back loop of the stitch that we did when hopping over the gap here. Okay, and you pull your yarn up and you make one chain and you make one single crochet into the same loop, and we're going to work over our tail here so we don't have to sew anything in. Okay, one extra single crochet here in the same loop as we joined into. Okay, and now in this round, it's really easy. We're just going to work, and I love this round actually. Now just going to work 1 single crochet into the back loop of each and every stitch of the round. And we're going to work over all of our tails as well. This one of the starting of the round, as well as the other ones that we have to hide from the foundation round. Oh, it's so nice to work into these. And the beauty part of it, I mean, these just look like chain stitches. Actually, when I first started doing this, I would make it with like a crochet hook, like a really fine one with a pointy head, and just crochet slip stitches into, yeah, these look like slip stitches. So I would crochet into the fabric, which is way harder. So once I realized I could do this with a sewing needle, then it was a revelation. But it's so nice because you have such great consistency in the look of the first sewed in embroidery chain stitch round. It just looks like slip stitches, so it looks like it's crocheted actually. Life hack. Okay, just a few more here around this tail to secure it. Like so, and then I'm gonna drop that one like a hot potato, and I'm gonna take one of this one here and work over that one. So I'm just gonna put it like this and work over this here now. So this way we don't have to sew in our hands, which is always lovely, isn't it? And it's just 1 single crochet into each and every back loop. Oops, let's get rid of this one here. Okay. Whoops, split the yarn. Don't want that. Yeah, this is actually like one of my favorite rounds. I love this one. And we finish with working over this one. And go straight on to working over the other tail. Now this one starts here. And just lay it like this and always on top of your hook. And that way you work over it as you go. Oh, isn't this neat? It's just like magic. It's like a magic. I mean, it's just so much fun to crochet. Oh my God, it's crumpling so much. Well, you know, like I said, this is all done to make you guys feel better. Okay, and I'm going to continue like this and work over the other tail here as well. And you just work 1 into each and every stitch. You don't have to do any decrease here around the corner or anything. It's just 1 single crochet into the back loop of each and every stitch. Easy peasy. So I'm going to continue and show you the end of the round. Okay, so now I've almost finished this second foundation round, the first one that we are crocheting. And when we get to and I've just made 1 single crochet into each and every stitch, also here around this bit here. And sometimes when going over this end, I like to just open the zipper. That makes it a bit easier. And it starts to kind of go up, but that's good because it's supposed to be just straight down in the other direction, obviously, which will happen later. Okay, so now we're getting to the end here. Just 4 more stitches to go. And it's 1 single crochet into each and every back loop of our embroidery chain stitching from the first round. Okay, and here is into the last one. And now we're going to keep going with this same color because we're going to do foundation rows 2 and 3 both in color A. And so when we get to the end of the round here, we're going to go and join into the chain from the beginning of the round. This does not want to be want to talk to me? Oh no, it's here. So we're going to join with a slip stitch into the chain here, like so. Boop, pop. And then we're going to do one chain. Okay, and now we're just going to continue and do another round exactly the same. Just one single crochet. This single crochet here was very tiny. And I'm actually supposed to change hooks at this point, but I'm going to do this first one with a small hook because it's so small. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh my God, I forget. Foundation round 3 is what we're going to do now. So just one single crochet into each and every hook, into each and every stitch, and now we're going to switch it to hook number 3 millimeter. And this round is exactly as the round before, just one single crochet into the back loop of each stitch. Oh, and I forgot the fun part. So now we can trim our, because we worked over all our ends here in round 2. So now we can just cut. Doo-doo. Oh, we can cut it better than that, Tina. Like so. And it's always just actually good to tuck at them before cutting. Tuck and snip. Do, 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 do. Off you go. And this one here, tuck and cut. And now we have no ends that we need to weave in. And once we get to the changing of colors, I'm going to show you also, I just work always over the tails so that there are very few ends to weave in, even if you decide on using many colors, like I'm doing. They do look really nice just in 2 colors, but more fun. More fun. More colors are always more fun, right? Okay. So this round is super easy. Just changing it up to your 3 millimeter hook. And I mean, if you just continue going with 2.5, that's quite all right. It's just a tad too small for this yarn, in my opinion. So, whoopa, what's happening? So it's nicer to change it to 3 millimeter here. Okay, so I'm going to do the rest of the round and get back to you. Just one stitch into the back loop of each and every stitch. Easy peasy. Okay, so I've done the whole round here. Almost, I'm up to the end of it. And you see here, this here is our chain stitch at the beginning of this round. If you're uncertain of this, you can put a stitch marker here. And then we have 1, 2, 3, and this is the final stitch of the round here. But this final stitch is actually the slip stitch that we use to join between rounds, and we're not going to work into that. So we just have 3 more stitches to go. Na 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 na. So 1, and this was again just all 1 stitch into the back loop of each stitch. So 1 single crochet into the back loop of each and every stitch. 2 and 3. And here we get to the final stitch of the rounds, which is the slip stitch. And we're not going to work into that. We're going to skip that one, and we're going to join into the chain here, because if we do that, if we skip this one, then the join here will be neat and always stay in the same place. Otherwise, it wants to kind of go to the left. I don't know why exactly. So now we're going to join with a new color, and for my color B, I'm using all these very cute little pinks. This one is actually kind of like almost burgundy, and it just goes from there. And so my plan is actually, you can make this any way you want, but my plan is to do 2 rounds in each of the color B and 3 or 4 rounds with the color A's, because I have fewer colors in color A. So now I'm going to, because I start with them, and then, okay, I'm going to show you. These are my color A's. Oops, they're supposed to be like this. And so I'm going to start, I've started with the lightest blue here. So I'm going to start with the darkest red. And so then it will go like this. So when I have a light pink, then I have a darker green here. Makes a nicer contrast. But again, this is all, you can make it all the way you want, any way you want. Any colors you want, even just one color per row if you want. Okay, these are really just too tiny to pick it from the inside. So now we are going to join with our new color, color B, which is the next round. And so again, we skip this last stitch of the round, which is the slip stitch, and we're going to join into the back loop of the first stitch of the current round, which is a chain stitch. And I did this very nice and tight, so it's a bit difficult to get in there. There we go. And we're just going to join with the new color with one slip stitch like this. And then we're going to do one chain. Okay, so this then will be the last stitch here, which was the slip stitch, will be the stitch that we skip at the end of this round. Okay, so that's color, now round, round 3. Done. And yeah, so just to clarify before we continue, these 3 foundation rounds are always the same. Doesn't matter which pattern you're going to make later. If you want to do the zigzag ones or the Apache Tear ones, or if you just want to use any other pattern. For example, my Indian Afghan pattern has, what, 7 or 8 patterns, and you could use any which one of those. Or just make up patterns on your own, or what have you. So it's just these 3 foundation rounds are always the same. And then after that, you decide on which pattern you're going to do. And we're going to do for this tutorial, the Apache Tears stitch, because it is just lovely and classic. So on to round 4 next up. This was round 3, the last of the foundation rounds. On to round 4. And now we're working in color B. And I've already done this first chain of the round, actually. And now we are going to, so it starts with a chain 1. Oh, and I'm going to work over my tail here, of course, always. And it starts with 1 single crochet. And remember, in Mosaic, I would say Mosaic, you do all the single crochets into the back loop, and all the double crochets go one round down into the front loop here that we've left for that purpose. Check out my beginner's guide lessons if this is your first try with Mosaic crochet. There I show it all very detailed. So 1 single crochet, and then we're going to do 1 double crochet, and we just follow this stitch here down 1 round and do the double crochet. And this one I'm not working over the tail, I just work the tail with single crochets, and then always take care to skip this one here because we've already done the double crochet for it. And now we're going to do 4 single crochets, and this is the repeat for this round. And actually, and so the repeat is 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, and 4 single crochets. And then we start the repeat again and do 1 single crochet. So it's 5 single crochets between every double crochet, like so. So now this is where the mosaic pattern starts, if you will. So there's 1 double crochet and then 5 single crochets. 2, 3, 4, and 5, and down. Hoppa. 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Up. Okay, I am going to continue and then just show you how to end the round. One quick note before I do that. So you can either check to see, like for me, it's the most important part is that you have a nice tight stitches in your first foundation round. And so I'm not really counting the stitches when I do that first round to make sure that it fits to this 6 stitch repeat pattern. So if you want it to be like an exact fit, then you will have to end with 4 single crochets, yeah? I usually just, you know, just see how it goes. I mean, a join is a join, it's on the side. I feel it's fine that it doesn't fit quite exactly. On the other hand, it is quite nice when it does. Like here, I was working this one and I was just like, okay, it was 2 stitches short. So then I just sneaked those 2 stitches in just to have it completely, you know, it fits perfectly. I mean, it is nicer when it fits, I'll give you that. But honestly, like I made loads of these and I'm not sure that it fits here. Let's see if it fits. Yeah, I can't even tell. No, it does not fit. You see, there are fewer stitches here in between than the other ones, and I mean it's grand, really. So if you want it all to fit, then you should at this point count your stitches and see if it fits all that you have 6 stitches repeat. And if you're missing a few stitches, then you can always the stitch that goes behind the DC. You can always steal that one, sort of, if you need to add one extra, or if you have to go over 2, then just, you know, skip 1 stitch if you have 1 extra or something. So at this point, if you want to have it all with 5 single crochets in between, do count and do your calculations. I'm just going to go, and when I get close to the end, I'll see how I can fix it. Yeah, you know, don't sweat it. Well, I don't do. Anyway. Okay, catch you back at the end of the round. Okay, so I've done my whole round. When you're going over this end here, it's quite nice just to open up the zipper and then it's easier to work into. And I have made the most astounding discovery. It fits! So here I have 5. So like when I'm getting to the end, then I will count and see if I can make it sort of work. So I have 5 single crochets and then there will be a DC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets, 1 DC, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. The gods are on my side. So, happy coincidence. That was, I don't have to do any fudging at all. If you do, then again, you know, do steal the ones that are behind this, the DC if you need to steal, maybe add a couple, or if you have a few too many, then maybe just skip 1 stitch. That's no problem. But mine is, I feel like now it's all just going brilliantly, you know. The future is bright. So 5, and then there's the DC, and then there is 4, because remember the repeat ended with 4 single crochets because we started with 1, so 1 plus 4 is 5, obviously. And then this is the last one here. And now I'm going to, again, remember, we are going to skip the last stitch of the round, which is the what's it called? Slip stitch. Just to keep the join always in the same place. And we are going to join into this chain here, the first chain of the current round. Skip this one and join into the chain, into the back loop of the chain. With color A again. Okay, everything's like wrapped up here. With color A again. So we just pull it through like so. And now we want to make it all nice and tight here, so that our join will be neater. Okay, and that's it for round 4. Oh, and I can cut my yarn here. I love it when I just cut them as I go, so I don't have any tails at any point. So yeah, this was round 4, you guys. All done. on to round 5. And now we're again working all the odd number rows are rounds, sorry, are color A, which is the blue here. I think I'll do 1 or 2 more with this blue before I change it up. And so now we're going to start by doing, obviously always get it all nice and tucked here at the join. We're going to start with 1 chain, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. And then we do 1 double crochet just next to the double crochet from round 4, and 5 single crochets. 3, 4, 5. The 5th lands here in the double crochet from last round, and then we do our double crochet. So the double crochet is always moving 1 stitch further. The classic Apache Tears pattern, which is just so simple but just gorgeous. I mean, it's the mother of all mosaic crochet patterns. I think it's safe to say. And it's so much fun to play with, because you can do the color fade that I'm doing, or you can just do it with a lot of different colors, or you can just do it with 2 colors, and it just always turns out beautifully. There's no mocking that up, really. And as you can see now, it's going so fast. I don't even think I need to cut before the end of the round, because now it's like flying along. Because, you know, the first round was, it takes a while, especially when you're not used to it, or if you happen to be doing it and not in the comfort zone, like I'm doing it in front of the camera, which is not the most comfortable position. But I mean, it always takes some time. But now, once you get started, it just is so much fun, and it goes so quickly, and it's so nice. It's a happening. Our little purse is coming to be. So it's always just the same. 5 single crochets. The 5th one lands in the double crochet from last round. And then we do a double. I do love making these. And this one is actually quite big. Like, this is a 15 centimeter zipper, which would be like, how much in, oh, I can't even know. These inches are just like, why don't you just be like normal people and use the metric system? It's something of inches, I don't know, 15 centimeters. So this one is a bit larger actually than what I would normally do. And so these little the little ones are just so quick and perfect for presents. Okay, we're getting close to the end of the round that just perfectly fit. The joy. Okay, 1 double crochet here after the double crochet, then it's 5 single crochets, 1 double, and we're going to end it with 3 single crochets, because we started the round with 2, so 2 plus 3 is 5. 1 and 2 and 3, and as always, we are going to skip the last stitch, which is the slip stitch, and we're going to join into the back loop of the first chain of this current round, the first stitch really of this current round. Okay, there we go. And always when joining, just, you know, really tuck at everything and make sure everything is nice and tight, and you join into the back loop of the chain with a slip stitch. Whoop, whoop, and tuck. Whoop, whoop, tuck. Yeah, and I'm not supposed to do the chain until I start next round. Okay, so this was round 5. It's going quickly and it's happening. The pattern is merging. Emerging. Well, it's coming to be. It's showing now. Whoop, whoop. Okay, on to round 6. And then let's again color B, the pattern color, which I'm doing in red and pink here. And it has all gotten tangled here behind the scenes. It was all tangled up behind the scenes. So, yep, and that's fixed. I think I'll do one more in this red. Yeah, 2 of each in the red-pink department. Now, like always, I mean, these rounds, I really shouldn't even have to do this with you, but I like it here, so I'll continue and do the whole repeat. So we start the round with 1 chain. This is the chain we will join into. And now we're going to do 3 single crochets and then a double. So the third one lands in the double crochet from last round. And we go down to the same color we have on our hook and do a double. And again, 5 singles and 1 double. 4 and 5 and a double. Easy peasy, you guys. 5 singles and 1 double. If you're new to Mosaic Crochet, do check out the beginners tutorials. Maybe I'm doing it a bit fast here now, but that's because I've shown you before how the technique is in great detail and very, very slowly. So now I'm just crocheting along. So I don't think it's necessary for me to film the whole round. Just going to continue to do 1 DC, 5 single crochets, and the 5th one always lands on the double crochet. Yeah? Okay, I'm almost at the end of round 6. And so I've done my last single 5 single crochets here. And then I'll do 1 double. And this round we started with 3 single crochets, so we know we will end it with 2 then. If it doesn't fit, then that's fine. You just work until the end of the round, until you have no more stitches. Here it ends with 2 single crochets. And now actually in the next color B round, I am going to switch it up and use one of these. I have so many fun pink colors here that I want to get in there. So I'll just do 2 rounds of each pink color. So I'm going to cut the yarn here. And now, as always, at the end of the round, we are going to skip the slip stitch here, the last stitch of the round. And we do this so that our join will stay put in the same place. So we can just tuck at that like so, because we're going to join always at the end of the round with the color, the new color, that upcoming color. So that's color A now, which is the blue. And we're going to skip the last stitch, the slip stitch, and we're going to join into the back loop of the first chain of the current round. And I always take care to do these really tightly, so it's difficult to get into them, but you want to do them tightly. So whoop whoop, slip stitch, and this round is done. That was round 6. So it should just look like this. Oh, but you see, my zipper is looking nicer and straighter. Like it. Yeah, the gods are so on my side now. Oh yeah, and it's sunny outside and masks are coming down and everything. It's a beautiful time. I mean, yeah, crochet makes me happy. I hope it makes you guys happy too. End of round 6. On topic, Tina. Round 7, next up. We already joined here with our new color, our color A, and the slip stitch. And now, you see, because I cut and I'm going to switch colors next round for B. And so I'm going to work over this tail here. So just to get rid of that from the get-go. We start round 7, like always, tucking nicely at everything. So everything is nice and tight at the join. And do 1 very tight chain, which I will then struggle to get into at the end of this round. But, you know, that's life. And now we're going to start with 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet. I mean, I'm going to do the whole repeat with you guys, but again, this is such an easy pattern. It's always just the double crochet is always just moving 1 forward. Okay, so now we start with 4 single crochets, and I'm going to take my tail here and lay it over my hook so that I can work over it. And it's quite enough to just work over it, like 10 stitches or so, and then we don't have to weave it in. La-di-da. Okay, that's 4 single crochets, and we're going to do 1 double. The double doesn't go around the tail. And then 5 single crochets more over the tail here. 4 and 5. Now I'm just going to drop the tail and continue. Always one double crochet and 5 single crochets. I don't know, I haven't decided on the size actually, so I have to maybe take a break after this round and sort of decide on the size and how many rounds I'm going to do with my color A, because I only have 3 colors for color A, but I have 6 for color B. Well, that sounds kind of easy, doesn't it? Then if I have 6 and I'm doing 2 of each there, I should do 4 of each with color A. That sort of sorted itself out nicely. And that's the fun part about these little pouches, these little purses, is that you can make them any size you want. I've even made a handbag with this technique. So then you can just use like, you can just, the width of it is depends on the length of the zipper. So you can get a zipper that is like 20, 30 centimeters, what have you, as long as you like. And then you just continue to go, because it's always repeat patterns, or at least in the pattern, the two that are in the pattern, you can just keep going. And you just go as long as you want, you know. So you can even make, glass purses, you know, like a purse for your glasses or something, and or a pencil case, or a hook case. You see, my hook fits perfectly in there. Oh, that's an idea. So you can do it really just quite short if you want to, or you can do it long, or you can make it for like an iPad cover, or, you know, it's just the possibility there are endless possibilities, you guys. The greatest pattern ever. Yes. I'm a humble person. But I mean, you don't gain anything from that, do you? One should be happy with oneself. I mean, if you aren't, who's going to do it? And I just continue crocheting while I babble on. So that was the 5th single crochet, and then we do a double. The only concern now, if I do it like this, then I'm always changing colors at the same time. I suppose that's okay, but I do kind of like it when I'm doing double fade. I do like to not change A and B at the same time, but this was way too perfect, like the 6 versus 3, to not sort of just go with flow, and it sort of sounds like I should just, this happened naturally, that I should do then 4 rounds with color A and 2 with each of the other, of the B. Yeah, I'll go with that. So this is my 4th round of color A, this light turquoise one. Oh, I just love turquoise, it's my favorite color. Turquoise and ocean green. It's like, well, and hot pink. So basically I'm just using my favorite colors always, over and over again. Pink and turquoise. Can't go wrong with that. And when you add a fade to it, oh, it's gonna be so pretty. Okay, we're getting to the end of the round. This is so easy peasy. Just glides on. 1 double, 5 singles, and the 5th single always lands on the double from last round. And now we only have 1 double crochet and 1 single crochet at the end of the rounds, because we started with 4 single crochets. So the last single crochet is here, and then we're going to skip the slip stitch here, and we're going to join into the back loop of the first chain of the current round. And now I'm going to cut this yarn as well, because I've decided, it is decided, I'm doing 4 rounds of each of color A. And next up in color B is this one, which is sort of like the perfect in between this first burgundy that I had dropped to the floor, this one here, and over like a slide over to the pink. Don't you just love a nice color fade? So we've done 2 of these. next step or two of this one here. I really love these tiny little skeins. I mean, they're just so cute. My God, it's like baby yarn. Poppy yarn. Back on track, joining, end of round 7, joining with yarn B. Okay, and I'm just going to go because it's just silly not to do the chain right away, although that is officially part of round 8, but you know, just to fasten it. Okay, so that's done then. That was round 7. It's coming together, the little steps are forming. On to round 8. And we are using color B, a new color B. There's a very slight fade though. It's like a slight, it's very similar. And so now we are going to work over this tail here at the beginning of the round, and we're going to work over this tail here at the end of the round. So can you just remind me when I have a few stitches left for the end of the round to work over the blue? Just send me a text, please. Okay, what am I going to do now? Now this round 8 starts with 5 single crochets. And we're going to work into the back stitch and always over our tail at the same time, so we don't have to weave it in the ends. Because that's just brilliant, isn't it? 3, it's making so much sound and noise, this zipper. I'm going to see if I can put it like inside like this. Make it stop. So now, no, it's straight out. Okay, I will just, you will have to bear with me, or I can try and hold it higher up. No, then you don't see what I'm doing. Okay, so the zipper is rattling. That is just part of life. Can I put something underneath it? Like so. Okay. What was I doing and saying? 1, 2, 3 single crochets, 4 and 5. The 5th lands here. This is the beginning of round 8, so it's 5 single crochets. The 5th lands on the DC, and then we go down and work our DC. And I think I'll do 5 more single crochets over my end of my tail before I cut it loose. 3, 4 and 5 and a double. So this is really just the same repeat. It's just depends on how many single crochets you're doing at the beginning of the round before you get to your first DC. But nonetheless, like I said, I like it here with you guys, so I'll just continue. I think it's up to round 12. That is the repeat. And we keep going. So 5 single crochets and 1 double crochet, and I'm gonna continue here and just catch up with you at the end of the round. Okay, I'm almost at the end of round 8 then, and I have remembered that I was going to work over my tail here. So we're gonna pick up the blue here, which I cut at the end of the last round, and I'm gonna work over this tail here for a few stitches, and we do 4 and 5 single crochets, 1 double, 5 singles, 4 and 5, and this round ends with 1 double crochet and no single crochets because we started this round with 5 single crochets. Okay, so there's just 1 stitch left here. This one here, the what's it called? Slip stitch from the join from last round, and I'm gonna tuck at my tail here, so it all be neat and it almost disappears here. And now it's time for next color, in color A, and I have this very nice sort of light sea green, and I'm gonna join with that one because I was joined with the color that is coming up next. And we skip the slip stitch and we work into the back loop of the first chain of the current round. Okay, and just whoopa, whoopa, Oppa. Slip stitch together and one chain here to fasten it. And tuck at everything so it's nice and tight. And there we go. Round 8 is done, and I can cut my tails here right away. So I'm just gonna tuck at them, always tuck at them, because you can always stretch it back. But after cutting them, you can't tuck at them because then they will be too little, nothing to tuck onto. So 1 and 2, and then the blue one as well. Tuck at that one and cut. Tuck and snip. Okay, and there we go. All nice and neat. And as you can see, it's way nicer actually to work it with the zipper open. So I tend to open it up while working, but then I can close it up here to show you how nice it all looks. Okay, that was round 8, sorry. On to round 9, and this is actually the last round that I will be working with you here, because that's the last round of the repeat. Then you just repeat rounds 4 to 9 as many times as you want. And I'm gonna open this up again because that makes it easier to work. Then it's like a circle. And so I already did the chain stitch here at the beginning of the round, and I am going to work over my tail. If I find it, yeah, here it is. Work over my tail. And so now we start this round. Yeah, we start this, sorry. Obviously not looking at the pattern because it's so easy. So yeah, we start this round with a double crochet. Because yeah, okay. So, but I was like, it shouldn't be, yeah. Okay, so we start the round with a double crochet, going down here. Up, 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 up. And then we do 5 single crochets, and I'm going to work over the tail. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and then another double crochet, and I'm gonna do 5 more stitches over my tail here. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a double, and I'm just gonna continue like this the whole way around. And as you can see, even if I change my colors, I've now changed both colors, but it's a very slight fade, so I'm not even sure that the camera is getting it, but there is a difference in these 2 colors. You see, this was light turquoise, and now I'm going over to the greenish, sea greenish. So I continue the same way and show you at the end of the round how we join, but it's just 5 single crochets and 1 double, like always, all through round 9. Okay, we're at the end of round 9. And so now I am going to do 1 double crochet and 5 single crochets. 4 and 5. And as always, skip the slip stitch and join into the back loop of the first chain of the current round, and do this joining with color B. Whoop, whoop, and just make it all nice and tight like this, and 1 chain. And so this is the repeat. Then you can then just repeat rounds 4 to 9 as many times as you like. And actually with this pattern, the Apache Tears, it's so simple and it's always continuous. So you don't really have to, doesn't matter if you repeat 9 to 4 exactly, you can just sort of repeat 9 to 4 until you get to your desired length of the little purse, and then you stop. And I'm gonna continue a bit with mine and then catch back up with you guys when I have made some repeats more, 4 to 9, rounds 4 to 9, repeat as many times as you like. And then I'll get back with you to show you how to finish, which is really crazy easy. Very happy with this. Okay, so I've done all the repeats that I want to do. It was getting a bit long, actually. I ended up doing, let's see, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 24 rounds. And now I'm just going to finish with a couple of the, when you got the length that you want, then you just finish it off with doing 2 rounds of single crochet, no double crochets. And it was getting actually a bit long, but it's, I then figured out it's perfect for the passport. See, so that's why I decided to stop here. It will be absolutely perfect for, I love having little purses for the passports. When and if we ever travel again. So now I'm going to just finish it off with 2 rounds of single crochets, and then you just join as before, and it's basically just like round 3. You're just repeating round 3, and I do these just into the back loop as well. So just 2 rounds of single crochets, and then I'm going to show you how to join it in on the bottom. Okay? Okay, so now I've done those 2 couple of extra rounds, and I forgot to say those 2, I would always make them in the same round as the last one that I did with the pattern stitch, you know, with the DCs. So this was my last round with the DCs, and then I've done 2 more in the same green color. And I'm coming to the end of the round here. Just going to show you that. End of the last of the 2 rounds of the purse. And we're always going to do the same way until the end of the round. Skip the slip stitch and join with a slip stitch into the first chain. Okay? And now what we're going to do is we're going to open up the purse, very important, because if not, we'll get into a bit of a problem. And we're going to turn it inside out. And as you can see, all our ends are woven in. Just tuck at the, I have a few here that I still haven't cut. So just tuck at them, nice and tight, and cut. And this one here too. Yes, so there will be just one end to weave in at the end. I know. You can just tell me right away. You love me. Okay, so we have turned it inside out like this. And now we're just going to crochet this side together with single crochet stitches. And the way that I do that is here I have one loop open, and you just want to, I mean, it lines up naturally. If you want, you can count your stitches or whatever. I would never do that. So we're just going to go into each and every stitch, like so, into both loops, you see, and work a single crochet. And so into both loops of each stitch, you're just lining them up like this and working them together with a single crochet. And usually when I join things, I would do it with a slip stitch, not a single crochet, because the single crochet is a bit more bulky. But I just feel like it's, I don't know, kind of trustworthy. Like it gives me faith in it that it's a sturdy join if you do it with a single crochet, that it's not going to unravel or nothing's going to break or anything. And also that's also why I will work into both loops. So you just want to have this a nice sturdy finish, because then you can use these for whatever, even for heavy stuff. And that's also why I prefer using cotton for these. I mean, you can use wool, I suppose bamboo and other synthetics yarn, but I prefer cotton because it has very little stretch. So the only stretch that the purse has is just the gauge, sort of like the stitches, not from the yarn. So it's very tight and nice. So we just work the whole way through about like this. All the stitches are lining up, and you just insert your hook into one side and the other, like so, and single stitch your way to the end. And can you believe how, I mean, this is what I love about these, is that it's so insanely easy, the finishing, because we started with the finishing, you guys. Normally now when, you know, you'd start by making the purse and then you have to sew it onto a zipper or onto a lining or what have you. No. We started with that bit. And so now the finishing part is just insanely easy. Just crochet the two sides together and weave in one tail. Okay, almost there. I love this bit when you're finishing and then the moment where you can, you know, turn it around. And so really, this has not taken so long. And this was a big one because it's a 15 centimeter long and I don't know how long it, like wide. And it's like 11 centimeters long, 10 or 11. So it's like 4 or 5 inches, 4 inches, 4.5 inches. So this is bigger than the ones that I usually make actually, which is insane. I don't know why I did that. But then the happy coincidence was that it fits perfectly for our passports. So that's like, because I didn't really have anything to do with this one. I've made one and gifted to like all of my friends and family. And I have mine, and now I will have a couple more because I'm doing one in zigzag as well, just to show you guys how it looks. Okay, almost here. And then just, you see here are 2 and here are 2. And then there are 2 here in the end, but I won't, well, let's see. 1. It's enough just to go into these here. And 2. And voila! Snippity snap. Pull your yarn once through. Like that. Okay, I'm gonna force myself to weave in the end before turning it around and showing you guys. No, it doesn't want to. It's just a big one. I'm too impatient right now. Okay. So, just secure this one nicely here. When I'm weaving in ends, I will try to do at least 2 or 3, and then I'll like movement. So I'll do a few stitches ahead, and then I'll back up 1 and go a few stitches ahead. And maybe since I'm doing it for a video here, I'll do it 3 times. So then I'll back up again and a few more stitches, like so. Snippity snap. And one more thing before we turn, you can trim these as well because they're really just not doing anything for us. This is for if you're doing it with garments or something that you maybe need these. But okay, on this side as well. Okay, magic moment. Oh, oh, isn't it lovely with the pinks and the greens and the blues? Happy, happy colors. And you just pop out your corners like that. I'm so glad I made one again. It's been a while. And you see, this is how it looks from the bottom. Very neat, very sturdy also. And it gives just a little bit of a bottom here bit, you know. Whoopa. Look how nicely it turned out. Oh, I'm so happy with it. Oh, I'm gonna try and pop my passport into it to see if it fits. Just exactly fits because I was doing it from the other side, yeah, and so then I didn't have the zipper to worry about. It's perfect. Oh, I will so be using this for for the family passports when next time we go traveling. Oh, it's lovely. Oh, thanks for the encouragement. Really, I haven't made one of these for years, and I'm sure that I won't be able to stop now. Usually when I start, I make at least 10. And in the end, you see, my zipper turned out quite nice. I was worried that it was all crumpled, but it's really quite nice. Like I said, the gods are on my side. Oh. And I really love this here, the tiny little pink detail here. This was happy. So you can do it like this, or you can do it in all different kinds of colors. Yeah, and if you want to do it like this in all different kinds of color, the only rule that I had was to just try and have a lot of contrast between 1 and 2. So just try and have it as random really as you can, and you can use up all your scraps. Although this one kind of looks a bit scruffy now, beside my new ones. Oh, lovely. That's it, you guys. Wonderful. Okay, so I said I was finished. I was not. I decided I should definitely finish this one as well, just to show you guys. I really love how this turned out. So these are the 2 versions that come with the pattern, the basic, the original Apache Tears, sort of stairs one, and you can make that one in all kinds of colors as well, which looks really cool. And here you can use up tiny bits of scraps. And then there is the zigzag one. This is the zigzag infinity. And then there's another one as well that has just like 3 zigzag lines, which is really cool as well. I don't have that one anymore. I gave that to my mother-in-law. So just wanted to show you this one finished. And as well, because a lot of people ask me about lining. And I know that obviously if you want to do a lining, you can do it. But I really actually like the inside as is. So I always leave them without the lining because, I don't know, I'm a bit of a fanatic of things that you can tell that they are handmade, you know? And so, I mean, I love the way that it looks on the inside as well. It's just striped. And because it's all single crochet, you see, it doesn't stretch at all. Maybe if you're making a big bag, like a handbag, then I would line it definitely. But for those small ones, these small ones, I love the way they look on the inside and they don't stretch, and you can see the zipper detail, sort of like the handmade touch. So my recommendation is just not to line it at all. You can do it, of course, if you like. I won't be offended. But mine, I always just leave like this. So I can't really show you how to line them since I never do it. And I mean, this one I've had for years and years, like, I don't know, like 5 years or something. And it's just, I mean, it looks, I mean, it's a bit, maybe I should give it a wash. Maybe I should have given it a wash before showing you guys. But I mean, it looks really good and it hasn't stretched at all. Oh, and one final thing. I don't have any what do you call this? Leather bits at the house at the moment. But I do like adding these when there's to the zipper. And you see, it's very easy. It's just like a leather strap. Just tie it into a circle. And then you put it in here into the zipper, like so. Pull out the loop and take the bit out and do it like this. So that's really simple, but it does give it a really neat sort of finish. And it's nice when I go to the shop, I will have it around my hand like this. So it's nice. So that's a nice final touch as well, if you like. But yeah, so this is it. I know I promised you a surprise, a bit of a nice surprise at the end. If you would make it to the end, this is very devious of me to get you to watch to the end. I'm horrible at marketing and everything like that, but yeah, I thought I would like be a bit devious on this this occasion. So now when I finally finished talking, then I have a little coupon code for you guys, because I mean, you can make it just with a tutorial, of course, and make this one and use any pattern you like, make one up, use some of my other patterns. All the patterns from Havana, the Havana Afghan or Indiana will work for it, for example. But if you want to buy the pattern and, you know, send a little bit of loving my way, I have a special code going at the moment, which will give you 50% discount off the pattern. It only costs like $5 to begin with. So with the code, it's $2.50. And when the screen goes black, then I'll put up the code. So, and it's valid until the end of this month. So until the end of May, just for a few days, if you like to get the written pattern, which comes with written instructions and a chart. Okay, so this was so much fun. I'm so happy that I finally did this. It's been on my fucking to-do list for a year. So I'm really psyched to see, to have done it, and I really hope that you like it and that you make lots and lots of mosaic purses. These are so great for gifts. And please remember, if you do post pics on social media, I'm at Tinda Hack on Instagram, for example. Please do tag me. I love to see your makes, and I love to share them in my stories and stuff. So that's that. Now I'm out. Mic drop. And sale code coming up now. Ciao.